Welcome back to school. It's now August of your senior year, and I'm going to do just a quick video introduction to calculus, tell you what it is, and ask you a question, get you to really start thinking about not only what the answer to questions are, but why are those the answers to the question. So what is calculus? Here's the definition for it. It's pronounced calculus. Plural forms would be calculuses or calculi. And it's really a branch of mathematics. It deals with finding the properties and derivatives, integrals, blah, blah, blah. But the key here is the phrase infinitesimal differences. So infinitesimal means infinitely small. So what calculus does is it looks at things over intervals that are infinitesimally small. And we're going to look at both types of calculus, which is differential calculus and integral calculus. We'll get more into that throughout the year. A particular method or system of calculation or reasoning, which would be the logic part, and the medical part, we don't get into that. It's if you want to know a little bit of party trivia, calculus can also be minerals formed within the body, such as a kidney stone, or tartar on your teeth could be referred to as calculus. And the origin of the term calculus actually means small pebble, small counting pebble, as used in an abacus. Okay, so what we're going to do this year is we're going to look at calculus, and it's going to give you a new way to look at God's creation. So far, in math, when you've been looking at things, you've been limited to algebra and geometry. And there are a lot of things that go on in the universe that God created. He spoke it into existence. Easy for him, hard for us to understand. But with calculus, you can have a better understanding and predict things like weather, what's going on in space. And this list is reflective of what I have used calculus for in my life. There are thousands of other applications to it. So our ability to predict weather is based on probability and statistics using advanced calculus. Our ability to put satellites in space, to do things in space, to understand what's going on in space, could not be done without calculus. And my favorite is, I live here in Nebraska, so do you. It gets windy, signs move, and when I look at signs moving, I try and derive the equation that would model that movement. And that's really what we're using math for, is to model the understanding of God's creation so that we can better understand it and have dominion, as it says in Genesis. We're to exercise dominion over the earth, and one way to do that is to better understand it. And to better understand it, calculus is a tool that allows us to do that. Okay, so here's where we're going to start. In addition to the introductory quizzes you're going to have here over the first couple of days, moving to calculus is a foundational shift in what we mean when we ask questions, and we in this case is me because I'm your math teacher. So it's very important to use precise language, because I can ask you the same question, and if you are thinking of it from an algebra perspective, you will answer it one way. If you're thinking of it from a calculus perspective, you'll answer it another way. And sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes it makes a huge amount of difference. So I'm going to be using some very precise language that means very precise things that will have a profound impact on how you approach a problem. Okay, so I have a basic question that I'm going to ask you, and it's in the survey attached to this video. And that basic question is, if you drive down to Lincoln, if you go 60 miles, and it takes you an hour to get there, how fast did you go? I'm going to go back and revisit this question a number of times throughout the year, and as I do, you'll understand the differences between algebra and calculus. So I want you to answer that question not only with the answer, but explain why that is the answer. That's another part of calculus that's very important, is I need to know your reasoning and what you're thinking. So we're going to talk about the benefits of algebra and calculus, the limitations of algebra and calculus, and really the benefit of algebra is it's normally quick and easy. The benefit of calculus is on more complex things it's much more precise. The limitations of algebra it can't be precise in more complex problems. The limitation of calculus is it can get very complicated. Okay, so that's what we're looking at for this year. Go ahead and fill out that survey and